everybody, this is Ben coming to you again with Backpacks and Brews, and we've got another phenomenal beer for us to taste today. I shouldn't say us, I should say myself. Unfortunately, this beer is a very limited edition type of beer that hopefully will be in the mainstream pretty soon, at least more often. It comes from a very well-known brewery in the craft beer world who currently they produce the number one beer in the world, Heady Topper. The brewery's The Alchemist, and this is Focal Banger. Focal Banger is an American IPA, and it is very similar to Heady Topper. I had just a great fortune to be vacationing with my wife and her family in New York, and my wife and I went to Vermont for a couple of days, and I didn't even realize it, but where we were staying just 30 minutes away, I just kind of looked up and looked at the Alchemist, their blog, and just saw what was going on, and they were doing a tent sale the second day that we were there, and I said, I've got to go. And so I got in line about 30 minutes before they were starting to sell beer, and walked away with a whole case of Focal Banger, along with a few other beers. They did a mixed case, a few 4-packs of Focal Banger with other ones called the Crusher and Rapture, and they've all just been such a treat for me to enjoy. So I'm going to have this one, and I've had a couple already, but I'm really looking forward to having yet another, and these are still super fresh, not even 2 weeks, old. So let's pop this open. Before I do that, I'll just read real quick. It says, crisp, clean malt character supporting copious additions of Mosaic and Citra hops. So yet another beer, as I've been going through a lot of these IPAs and pale ales, this is yet another one that has that Citra hop in it. So let's pop this guy. I mean, immediately when you pop this can open, all you smell is hops. And I homebrew, and so I understand what it's like to open a bag of hops before you dump them in your brew kettle into your boil, and that's what this smells like. I mean, this can is like beauty, just beauty, straight up hop. Now, what I love about this beer is the very light pineapple color that this comes in, and you rarely see beers at 7.0 ABV come in at such a beautiful, bright, vibrant, yellowish color, which is very similar to Heady Topper. We poured it with about a finger of head. It's pretty creamy, fluffy head, made up of pretty small bubbles. It is very cloudy. You can't see through it at all because there's so much hop particulates and resin and everything not to get the look on it, get the smell on it. So let's get a whiff here. It just makes me smile. There's that just astringent dankness to it, that oniony, garlicky smell that's like green, fresh hop dankness, just like so fresh, just so green, like you picked them straight from the vine. Definitely getting the citrus. I'm getting like lemon peel, grapefruit, and some orangey, kind of orange peel bitterness. Definitely getting some like earthiness and some herbal qualities as well. And getting a little crackery malt backbone, very light, but you get that definitely in the smell. It's delightful. It's so delightful. Let's get a taste on it. I can't argue with the fact that this beer is one of the best IPAs in the world. It's just so alive in my mouth. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just alive. The hops are fresh and alive, and are just so beautiful as they follow the nose so perfectly. That grapefruit and citrus, lemon zest. And there's that dankness, but it takes it to a whole another level. It's hard to explain. The mouthfeel on this beer is so full for an IPA, yet so light. The carbonation is absolutely perfect. It just helps wash that palate to prepare for the next drink. It is simply a masterpiece in a can. And we're seeing some nice lacing here too, which is always a treat to see a nice, well laced glass afterwards. Um, it This beer is um, definitely one of the freshest, greenest hop bombs that I've ever had. Yet it is very well balanced, and like the can says, it's got a crisp, clean malt character, which it really does, and that malt character is definitely can be seen and tasted. So good. I would say if you could get a hold of this, get a hold of Focal Banger. If you have to make a trade for it, make a trade for it. In my opinion, this is just as good as Heady Topper. It's just a little bit lower on the ABV, so therefore maybe a little less. There's a little less. I would say a little less sweetness to it as well, but it is worth. It is totally worth. It's totally worth me standing in line for an hour, and it's totally worth making a trade for it or purchasing it if you have the opportunity. In the meantime, you can take my word for it. Focal Banger, world class IPA, A+ in my books. Hope you get a chance to try this beer. Cheers.